y'all? It's your girl, Jasmine Nicole, and welcome to Weight with Jazz, a safe space for the obese, the overweight, those who just want to lose weight, and myself to share our weight loss journeys and a little bit of my life too. So, this is D-Day for D Update. So, we have what is this? 12-week update on my progress since I've been on GLP-1 medications, Zepbound, and Tirzepatide compound. Real quick, I used to be 284 pounds. I lost 115 pounds and kept it off for 12 years. I chose to embark on losing that last 40 pounds with GLP-1 medication, Zepbound brand, as well as Tirzepatide compound, which I am currently on now. I'm currently on the 7.5 milligram of Tirzepatide compound. And it has been doing what it's been doing, as you see in the previous videos, guys. It has been doing a lot. It has been working. It's getting adjusted with my body, but all down the line, I'm introduced with little surprises of side effects such as nausea. What is to be expected on this medication, especially if you're on a therapeutic dose such as 7.5 and above. So then you have the 7.5 milligram, you have 10 milligram, the 12.5 milligram, and then the 15, which is the ceiling cap for the doses on all of the GLP-1 brand medications, as well as the GLP-1 compound medications. So that's my story here. Here to give you an update what has been going on so far with the numbers, with my weight number. Okay, so when I started the medication, I was 175 pounds. I began 175 pounds, and going upon week 12, I am now 141 pounds. So I lost 134 pounds. Excuse me. I lost 34 pounds, Lord, y'all. I lost a total of 34 pounds since I've been on this GLP-1 medication. I think I'm coming along with great progress. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Like I said, it's been some hicks and hurdles with getting adjusted with these doses after titrating, because I titrated from 5 to 7.5. I went according just to the essential titration schedule, 2.5, which is just the introductory dose. Some do remain on it and are fine. And some people feel the need to titrate up because they're not getting, a certain amount of weight loss within a certain period of time, or a certain amount of food noise cancellation, or a certain amount of food suppression. So then those are the components that will make someone titrate up. So for me, I felt like, I definitely could do a 5, because I felt like the 2.5 was losing some of its effect. I was getting adjusted. So I did jump to 5, went through it, and towards pretty much the end of the 5 dose, I felt like that dose was losing too. It's worked with me as far as the food noises and stuff like that, and some of the suppression effect was leaving faster than I desired. So I decided to titrate up to a 7.5. Once I titrated to 7.5, that was a therapeutic dose, and just that additional 2.5 milligram of a dose made a major difference. As far as effects concerned, suppression was heavier on the 7.5 than the suppression has been on any of the other doses for me. This is a dose that I would that I will maintenance on. However, I am considering splitting the dose when it is time to maintenance, just to stretch out the medication also, and just to have a lower dose without having to go all the way down to a 2.5. You never know if you need to go back to a 7.5. So one of the advantages of compounds is that you can, within reason, adjust the doses, as long as you know what you're doing and you get, the insight from the healthcare provider, whoever provides you that compound medication. And as long as you just really pay attention to the units and know how to do basic math, you can, just make it work for you. So that's what I plan on doing, but I have not reached my goal weight yet, guys. I do anticipate reaching my goal weight soon, honestly. I don't see why not, with the progress that I'm making. I mean, from what I'm judging, it seems like my weight loss has pretty much been gradual. It's been on a same line each month. It looks like, pretty much over 10 pounds, maybe. I think that's pretty good progress. Many people may think that 10 pounds a month is not healthy. I just beg to differ. I'm going based on how I'm feeling, and I'm feeling like it's fine. I like the progression when it comes to weight loss. I don't like it to take forever. That's just me. And just because it comes off faster doesn't mean that you're going to gain it back faster, if you know what principles to continue to practice. That's just that. Because it doesn't matter whether you're on this medication or not. If you lose weight suddenly or over time, whatever, and you stop those important eating principles that you're supposed to carry on throughout your lifetime, you will start gaining weight back. If you start increasing your carb intake and decreasing your exercise output, then you are going to gain weight. Like, it's the thing is, it'll come back. If you go back to eating the old ways with the refined sugars and the refined flours on a 3 meal a day basis and snacks and all of that, and you're not exercising as well, you're going to gain weight. So at the end of the day, it's practicing the principles. Regardless, that's inevitable. You cannot avoid that. You got to practice the principles, or you will always find yourself back in the same position. This is how people who have had gastric procedures, several gastric procedures in their lives, and they seem to have gained the weight back. I mean, gained 100 pounds back or even more back. I mean, it's a deeper condition there. It's a psychological food condition there. It's an addiction condition there that needs to be addressed. How one interprets food. So for me, I have that understanding. I'm grateful to have it. So I'm not going to ever skyrocket way off the lanes. I'm never going to, like, I'm not saying I won't gain weight. I will give myself like a 5 to 10 pound allowance from my goal weight, because life's when things happen, you can gain weight for whatever reasons. We all know there are many, especially with women. So I wanted to give myself leeway for my goal weight. If that happens, that okay. If I put 10 pounds on, I'm still within a healthy weight. I still look aesthetically pleasing to my liking. And, I'm not just putting weight on top of weight on top of weight. Then I know what I need to do to trim down some more, It's just, for me, it's always going to be planning and just being cognizant and being moderate in what I'm putting in my mouth. Not on an OCD level, but it's just on an everyday level, because every day I eat. So I'm always going to have these things in practice. I'm just glad I was able to have the GLP-1 medication to just boost that hormone correction, that natural hormone correction. Hopefully stabilize that out, because I feel like that was an issue for me initially. And to me, this medication helped me get more grounded on a higher protein diet. I can say that. A higher protein and low carb diet, because before I was not low carb, and that probably was the reason why I was at a weight plateau after I lost 115 pounds, which led me to this 40-pound weight loss, but with using GLP-1 brand Zepbound. Because I was at my wit's end, and I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm gaining some weight back gradually. Not big weight, little weight, but I still changes. I feel like I'm getting a roll, a love handle in the back. Clothes are that were appropriate fitting are getting tighter now. I'm developing more fat in my abdomen area. My arms are more flappier. So me addressing all, I'm wondering, like, what is it I'm doing wrong? I'm thinking I'm eating within my calorie deficit. I'm intermittent fasting, and I'm like, I'm eating my 1 meal a day. Why am I gaining weight? Well, you're gaining weight because your 1 meal a day is super carby. So I'm thankful for GLP-1 medication because it encourages a low carb eating regimen. And after time, that conditioning sticks with you so that you can continue to take that same way of eating post medication. Won't just continue it on the medication, but even after it, you continue it post medication. Therefore, you won't have weight gain issues. I don't think I will have that problem. I won't. I didn't have that problem before. I just had the issue of correcting my eating lifestyle. Okay, I was thinking I'm healthy eating vegan, but a lot of the vegan food that I was eating is high in carb. High in carb and high in oil and high in fat. And the fat is fine if you are keto, if you are lowering the carbs. But if you're not lowering carbs, you're eating high carb, you're eating high fat, you're eating whole grains, you're eating all of that. That stuff is dense and fiber filled, but also fat filled, using all the oils, the coconut oils, the olive oils. Yes, it's great. The nuts. I'm not really a nut fan, but the nuts, because they're hard to control, and you can get too much fat, too many calories real quick from eating 2 handfuls of nuts. If that's not going to be your sole base of a protein or whatever, and you're using it as a snack, it gets out of control. You find yourself gaining weight as a vegan or gaining weight as a vegetarian. Okay, so you really got to still understand the proteins, the certain type of macros, how to be low carb or keto as a vegan. And it's very hard to be a vegan keto vegan. It's easier to be a keto vegetarian, and a keto pescatarian. So I went wrong. There. So I had to adjust my eating lifestyle. So I adjusted it to pescatarian so that I can get the right amount of lean protein for me. I get the right amount of fat, but I want the lean protein to be able to get the lean protein without carbs all the time. Like, I'll take some of the carbs sometimes because I eat every now and then. I may eat plant-based meat. Plant-based meat has carbs in it. Certain vegetables have carbs in it, and the list goes on. So you just got to be mindful. But other than that, fish and other forms of seafood is where it's at that I can get most of the protein that I need, and dairy. So that's why pescatarian works for me. So when I fix that on the GLP-1 medication, I see that resolved it. I'm losing the weight. And if I wasn't on the medication, if I just was eating this way that I'm eating now on the medication, I strongly believe that I still would lose weight. Because my issue was not losing weight and maintaining it. It was really figuring out how to eat. I already knew how to be in a deficit. I know how to keep calories in mind without having to write everything down and all of that. That's why intermittent fasting is amazing. Intermittent fasting is one of the major tools that I use, so I don't have to really calorie count because I'm omitting a meal. That's omitting a whole layer of calories, in my opinion. It's easy for me to guesstimate. I don't have to walk around with my MyFitnessPal, plug in and everything. That's not necessarily 100% accurate. It's still going off of estimation itself, electronic estimation. So, for me, the intermittent fasting, bam, I'm able to stay in that calorie deficit. It was just the carb issue was the main issue for me, if that's what you pick up from all this. The carb issue. I have an understanding that it's more advantageous for me to be lower carb. Had I just been low carb before, I would have lost the weight, even without the medication. But now I have the medication. It's that extra help, that extra aid. It introduced me to being low carb and seeing its effects, and makes me want to stay on this as a regular lifestyle eating regimen. Maybe every now and then divvy from it, but pretty much stay on this low carb cycling. And I think this is one of the best ways to maintain your weight. Keep low carb in the picture, because we really do not need all the carbs that we're taking in. We don't. If it's not associated to fruit, which gives us that fiber, and even vegetables, because you know there are some carbs in some vegetables. You want some green life, but if it's not associated really to that, that is really what gives us that weight gain and further inflammation. So I mean, I really, although a lot of people have the gripes, you know, the cons on this medication, everybody's pushing the side effects. I even have videos about my experience. I mean, because it is truly my experience and I want to share it with you guys. But it's not to be the sole, it's not to be what you completely take away from this medication is side effects. Oh, you lose weight, but you are sick as a dog. Because remember, like I said, to each his own, the side effects are not prominent with everyone. You'd be surprised. A lot of people don't get some of these side effects, like nausea. A lot of people don't. And then there is a good amount of people that do. Some people are really sliding on easy street on this medication, side effect free, probably because they remained on a low dose, didn't titrate up, and decided just to take the little time to lose 30 or plus or whatever pounds. Maybe it took them maybe it took them 4 months or 5 months to lose that full 30 pounds, but they did lose it. Don't take that away from them. But they had minimum to no side effects because they didn't titrate up. They didn't feel the need to. So it's to each his own. I'm not going to put all the bearing on the side effects. I want to like highlight like what I really got out this medication. What has it done? How did it like further implicate my life moving forward? And what did it introduce to me? It introduced low carb eating as being a very strong tool to maintain your weight without this medication. So I'm grateful for that. In addition to, okay, the weight I've been waiting to lose, and it probably would have took longer without this medication just because I was just at a fed up and tired point too, y'all. I'm like, look, I done went through a weight journey. I got to go through this again. You know, that was discouraging in itself, and almost a recipe to go doggone backwards and start binge eating. You understand what I'm saying? Say, F it. I'm going to just be a big girl. I'm not going to get too big. I'm just gonna, you know, get moderately big. I'll be all right. Who cares? I don't want to get into that mindset because I was slowly slipping into that before I got on this medication. Because I was confused. I was thinking I was doing everything right because I was vegan. Thinking that plant-based everything, meaning that I can maintain my weight, eat what I want, and not count calories. That is not true. As a plant-based eater, as any type of eater, you need to be cognizant of what you're eating and how many calories is possibly in it. Period. Unless you are one that's just eating fruits and veg. Like really, with nothing else attached to it. Even then, if you are diabetic, you still have to be mindful of your sugar level, your blood sugar. So you still have to count and be cognizant of everything. But listen, the carb was the issue. I'm grateful, I know right now, but y'all, take something away about that little titration tip I put on. I gave y'all. Somebody in the comment had mentioned it too on a previous video. I think it's something that person is doing. The viewer suggested splitting the dose to another viewer who was making a comment, I think, just on the level of the potency of the dose and what it's doing and the side effects or whatever. And I had just, thumbs that up on her and was like, yeah, co-signing, absolutely, because I am definitely in that lane, and I was already on that type of thinking because I had already presented the option of splitting the dose to the health physician that provides my compound medication, Amble Health, okay? I wanted to know, I just wanted to present it and get some insight on it, and I got it. There are multiple ways that you can go about maintaining yourself on the Tirzepatide compound on a 7.5 dose, or on a 10 mg dose, or on a 15 mg. You can really get a lot out of a 15 mg by splitting doses. You can make that last a long time if you know what I mean. But yeah, if you just know what you're doing, you can split these doses and make it work. So that's what I'm probably going to do, as I stated earlier already. So be on the lookout for that. That's not right now because I'm not at my goal weight yet, but it's coming, y'all. But so far, I'm 141 pounds. Get at your girl. It's coming through. Toning is coming through. Y'all still want to encourage y'all to continue to weight train. I know a lot of people are becoming frustrated and are deterrent on losing weight in general with this medication because they don't want to have loose skin. Just want to encourage you to self-accept and still self-love. Understand that if you have the loose skin, which is inevitable, just work with it and try to do things to avoid it, to counter it in ways like weight training. Do that weight training 4 to 5 days a week, guys, no matter what. Work them arms, work them thighs, work it. I'm telling you, you see it over time. People think weight training is something that is just done for 2 weeks. You got to do this stuff month after month. You have to do it day after day. You have to be on a regimen. You have to do reps to equal to a set and keep repeating. You need to and then you need to increase your weight level when you get to a certain point. Even at the low level free weights, increase yourself up to a 20 to a point for certain things. Be gradual with it, but you need to do the weight training if you're trying to see certain silhouette results. If you want tighter skin, or you want to give the appearance of being tighter. I don't want my body fully solid. I'm a juicy, loose, soft girl. I just want my body to have the illusion of being smooth and firm. You know what I'm saying? But when you touch it, you have something. You know what I'm saying? You don't have stiffness. Just keep that in mind. You got to put the work in, guys. You got to put the work in. And you got to do more than just one or twice a day. Excuse me, once or twice a day. I'm just saying. So that's my update, guys. I'm wishing you great updates on your journey. I'm wishing you strong weight loss results. I'm wishing you strong toning results. And just wishing you happy eating. Remember, be real, boo.